Yo, what's up people? Hope you're well. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this Johnny Harris style map animation. And without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the video. Preparation is obviously super important, and the reason why Johnny Harris map animations are so popular is because of how consistently high quality and stylish they are. For my animation, I've chosen an old map of South America. Old maps are a super easy way of adding texture and visual interest for viewers, definitely something I recommend taking advantage of. The website I used is called Wiki Commons. You can get really high resolution maps and images there, and it's completely free. I also use this halftone texture loop, which is on my Discord server for free, as well as a community full of hundreds of like-minded editors and animators, and you can join through the link in the pinned comment. So I have a new composition here. It's just 1920 by 1080. 60 FPS, however you can make it whatever you want, and if you want to follow along with me and get access to any of my project files or just simply support me, you can become a Patreon linked in the description or the pinned comment. So the first thing I've done is I've just dragged in this map of South America that I got from Wiki Commons, as I mentioned before. I'm just going to drag it into my assets folder, take the .jpeg off the name, going to scale it down. First thing you're going to do, come to the effects and presets tab and type the effect tint. Drag it on, and then instead of the white, we are going to use the color code FFF3E4 for a nice yellowy sort of old paper color, because in real life paper is never just white. And then after that, we're going to search for the effect curves, and then we're going to do a S curve like this, so we darken the darks of the map, as you can see. Okay, so before any camera movements, we're going to color the sections of the map we want. So I'm going to duplicate the original map layer. I'm going to rename this red because that'll be the color it is. And we're going to go to this tool up here called Roto Brush, the man with the brush, and then double click the duplicated layer. And then this pink section we're going to make red. And before that, I'm going to show you the controls. So with rotoscoping, you have a brush that acts like a mask. So when I hold mouse 1 and paint, it will do sections. And to get rid of those sections, you hold Alt and click, and then it will get rid of it, as you can see. Like that. And then to change the size of the rotoscope tool, you're going to hold Control and then mouse 1 and then move up and down to change the scale of it. So I'm going to make the brush like this big. And then I'm just going to color this section in. For the sake of the tutorial, it's not going to be perfect, and you would spend a lot longer doing this yourself, of course. So I'm just going to roughly make sure it is all around the map, like so. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just pressing mouse 1 to paint the mask on, so the bits in the purple, so it will be the parts that are, separate, so this bit will now be on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish doing this rotoscope, and I'm just going to cut forwards. Okay, so once you've rotoscoped the section you want, we're going to come to the timeline, and we're just going to cut it to 1 frame, and then we're going to see here that says freeze. You're just going to click freeze. So this means it won't move, because the rotoscope usually moves every time you reopen After Effects, for example. So we're going to come back to the composition main. I'm going to come here, and then we're going to go pre-compose. I'm going to move all attributes into new composition, adjust composition, whatever. Just call it red. And then we're going to come to right click it, and then we're going to come to time, and then we're going to freeze frame it. This means it will just be, it's now basically just a mask, but rotoscoping is way faster for masking maps specifically. So now you just have the section of map. So next I'm just going to cut forwards to when I've finished the other sections of the map, because it's the exact same process of rotoscoping, cutting it to 1 frame, and then freeze framing it, pre-comping it and freeze framing it, you know what I mean. So I'm just going to cut ahead. Now I've just repeated what I've done and divided the map parts into sections. So what I'm going to do is now color them. So I'm going to go to the effects and presets tab and type CC toner, then add that onto the red and make it a maximum red color. And then I'm going to come to the curves effect, make it darker, a lot deeper, Then I'm going to change the blending mode to classic color burn. So it looks like a marker with like ink bleed. And then I'm going to get the effect Luma key, which will have it sort of bleed onto the page. So I'm going to make the edge feather 20. And then I'm going to have the threshold start at 150. Because the effect goes up to 255. But there's no difference between 255 and 150. So to not mess up the timings of the keyframes, I'm going to have it start at 150. Then roughly 4 seconds. I'm going to have it end at 25. There's basically no difference between 25 and 0. So I'm going to keep it at 25. And then I'm just going to make the keyframe assistant easy ease. And we don't need to graph animate it. And then I'm going to repeat this process for the blue, but a little bit differently. So we're going to make this hard light instead of classic color burn. And then we're going to take the CC toner and curves, put it on the blue. And then we're going to make it a nice deep sort of blue. Sort of like that. And then we're going to take the Luma key effect again. And then we're going to reset it. And we're going to make the... I'm going to turn the threshold off. I'm going to make the edge feather 40 for this one. Then we're going to find the threshold again. So what can we start it at? So we're going to start at... 175. There's no difference between that. And then we're going to come to about 5 seconds. And we're going to have it come down to... We're going to have it come down to 1 because there is a really harsh change over 1 frame at the end. Sweet. And then we're going to keyframe assistant and easy ease it again. And then we are going to copy the red. Red and the curves. Put it on the green. We're going to make this one classic color burn again. We're just going to make it a nice green color. Maybe something slightly lighter. So like that. And I'm going to copy Luma key on here. Pull the keyframes. I'm going to have it start about here. And we're going to also look again at when it needs to start. This one's going to start at 225. And then it's going to end on... have it end on 50. Now onto the camera movement of the animation. I'm going to select all of the color layers and just parent them to the original map layer. And then create a null and name it controller. And then parent the map layer to the controller. And then I'm just going to 3D the layers. And then as you can see, it's just gotten brighter. That is because it's on advanced 3D. If you have this issue, just click classic 3D and it will go back to the original colors. And then now I'm going to come to the controller, press P and then hold shift and then R and then S. So this is going to be everything we are animating. So position, scale, X and the Z axis. And then we're going to press a U on our keyboard twice to then only show the keyframes we are animating. Okay, so before animating anything, we are going to come to the anchor, the pan behind tool, and we're going to move the anchor point to roughly in between all of the sections of color. So right here. So that will mean it will zoom into onto that point. So come to about 3.5, and we're going to drag the position here because that's the roughly final position. And then we're going to start it up here, like so. I'm going to come to this keyframe. I'm going to increase the scale to 280. And then the X rotation, we are going to change to -54, or roughly in between that. And then the Z rotation to about 13. And then we can move the position to however we want, like so, a little bit. And then we can check if it's in the center, turning on proportional grid, like that. That's about good for me. And then we're going to highlight all of our keyframes. Right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. And then we're going to do a basic like mountain, like hill sort of graph. So it speeds up as it's as it goes along into the middle, about 1.5 seconds-ish. I'm going to make it a little bit more like that. Okay, it's good, but I'm going to come to the original map layer and then make sure we have the anchor point for it in the roughly the same spot. And then I'm going to press S and then Shift and then R. I'm going to animate the scale and the Z rotation. Press U on our keyboard twice. And then we're going to increase the scale by +7. So we're going to type +7 into here. And then the rotation can be +5. So then this means during the whole animation, it will keep moving really slowly. So it's just like a nice little bit of panning movement. So we're onto the source. The first thing I have is my half-tone texture sequence, like loop. You can get this for free on my Discord server. Then I'm going to change the blending mode to soft light. So I'm going to come to blending mode and then soft light. And then I'm going to decrease the scale as well. So about there. And then this will add a really nice dot papery look to the page, making it look less digital. Okay, and now we're going to create a new adjustment layer, and we're going to call this one Edge Blur. And we're going to come to the circle tool, and we're going to double click. Make sure you have the Edge Blur layer selected, and we're going to double click the Ellipse tool, and it will put a perfect circle mask onto the page. We're going to click subtract and then press F to bring up the feather and make it 150. Then we're going to look up Gaussian blur. I'm going to make it 20 and then make sure repeat edge pixels is on. And we're just going to drag these ones outwards. So I'm going to select this one. Holding shift, I'm just going to click outwards and then select this one, holding shift, drag it inwards a little bit. Like so. Maybe turn it down a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to do the FX source that I really like to do. Make a new adjustment layer, rename it to FX. And then we're going to come over to the effects and presets and type transform. Then make the scale 100.5 and then come to the position. Hold Alt and click to bring up the expression window and type posterize time 3. And then wiggle 222,3. And then this will add a camera shake to your project or gate weave. I think I'm going to turn it down to 1 instead of 3, as 3 looks a little high. And then next we're going to add noise. And use color noise is off and make it 5. And then after that we're going to use the free plugin Quick Chromatic Aberration, which is here. And then I'm going to make the position 0.5 or just keep it the same. And then lastly, add sharpen. And then set it to 15. And then you can easily save this as a preset so you don't have to do all that again by just clicking and holding shift on all of the effects and come up to animation and save animation preset. Okay, after this, we're going to add a new solid. Press Control and Y. Doesn't matter the color. And we're just going to call this speckles overlay. And we're going to come to fractal noise, drag it on, and then we are going to make the contrast really high, something like that, and then make the brightness really low. Something like that is quite good. And then we're going to make the transform all the way down, maybe even less, maybe like 10, and then make the complexity as high as it can possibly go, so 20. Then after that, we're going to come to the evolution options, and then we're going to hold Alt and click the random seed and type time times 4. And then we can make it black by going to invert. And then we make the blending mode darken or multiply. I'll make it multiply for this scenario. And then you have a nice black speckles texture that's really subtle. If you want to increase the amount, you just change the brightness or contrast, and you can make the scale even smaller. Maybe make the contrast a little higher, then make the brightness lower. You basically just tamper around with these settings until you have something you like. And then after that, we are going to create another new adjustment layer. We're going to name this one FPS. We're going to call this, we're going to type posterize time and make it 15. And then finally, we're going to make another adjustment layer and then cut it to about a second. And we're going to call this one blur in. And we're going to go to the Gaussian blur effect. Drag it on. Have it start at 15. Animate the blurriness and then come to 0. And then select the keyframes and then keyframe assistant, ease. And then just do a regular speed graph here. Okay, so now you have your Johnny Harris map style animation. I wanted to keep it simple and do the basics. So yeah, just kept it pretty simple and it looks clean. Let the textures do the talking. Thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, subscribe and drop a like. That really helped me out. And comment any tutorials you'd like to see and I'll be sure to note them down. And lastly, any of my socials or relevant links will be in the description below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.